And we begin tonight at 5:30, joined by Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown for our monthly Ask the Mayor segment. We thank you for coming in. I know it's been a very busy day, which started with the situation at Nichols today. How quickly were you informed about this, and were you satisfied with the response?
Was informed right away, very satisfied with the response. It was something called swatting. It was a fake call trying to generate the largest police response possible. Happened in four other municipalities across the state and has occurred in other states as well. It is a very dangerous situation because when you get an active shooter call like that at a school, law enforcement agencies are responding. They're responding in mass. It's very frightening to children, teachers, and staff. That's what we had in this situation.
And the parents, of course. All right, and we've been reporting on that. We've had Jeff Preval there, and we will have more information about what happened at Nichols today throughout the newscast here. But I also have just learned that you were part of a session today with the White House. You did this virtually. Tell us what that was about.
It was a session on responding to mass shootings, and they had me, the mayor of Highland Park, Orlando, and other communities that have experienced mass shootings to ask us what can the federal government do to be more responsive, to be more helpful, to help communities recover. It was a great conversation. The White House gave us a good amount of time to talk, to share ideas, to share information, and to share things that we think could be helpful to our community.
Okay, I don't have as much time as they did today, but give me briefly, what did you say would be helpful from the White House?
Resources coming in more quickly. There will be resources that are coming to the federal government, to the city of Buffalo, to some of these other communities, but having less red tape, having those resources get to communities to recover, to heal more quickly would be most beneficial.
And I think people can identify with that here. We've been tracking, when is the help coming? Where is it coming? After the Tops mass shooting, and it seems like it takes a long time. So you're absolutely right about that. We'll be reporting more on that. I'm interested in the other things that you talked about there, but I'd like to talk about the ice storm, top of mind right now for so many people. I'd like you to assess the city's response. Keeping this in mind, we've heard from Joe Golombek, the North District Council member today, saying, blasting the city, saying, what about the side streets in my area? I'm hearing from so many constituents that they have not been cleared of the ice. We also heard from residents on the east side who felt that they had been forgotten. Side streets again, there's a lot of ice out there. What is your response?
Live on the east side, live in the city of Buffalo. The city was out. This was another difficult storm. In some cases, there is not a half of inch of ice. There are inches of ice on the ground. Streets have been salted, but because of the cold temperatures, the ice at that thickness is not melting. Plows can't plow the ice up. It doesn't work. And what people need to understand, the plowing situation in Buffalo is different than every other municipality in the region. We have almost twice as many streets to plow as the next largest suburban municipality. So frustrated as well. My street was icy as well. My driveway was icy as well. It was like a sheet of ice, and always pushing to do better. But we have to really look at these kinds of weather events that we're getting now. They're not the norm, and they're very difficult to deal with.
All right, we talked after the Christmas blizzard, and your feeling was that the city needed to hire a fleet manager, someone to manage all this equipment that you talk about. The Common Council felt that the city needed an emergency manager. Both of those positions have now been approved. nobody's been hired yet. I understand that. I mean, this is just recent. But would these positions have helped during this particular storm?
I don't really believe a fleet manager or an emergency manager would have helped during an ice storm.
You don't think with the emergency that we have now afterwards that would be helpful to have somebody in charge of saying, hey, you need to get to the north side, you need to get to the east side?
We do have people in charge. We have supervisors in each of the plowing districts. We have people out inspecting the roads. We have trucks out in the roads. We have a public-facing GPS system, which we're not happy about. We're looking at replacing. We have an internal GPS system that tells us where the trucks have been. Have they been salting? So no, an emergency manager would not have improved this response, and a fleet manager would not have improve this response.
And I guess my next question is then, why do we need those two highly paid positions if they would not have helped in a situation like this?
Well, I think we need a fleet manager to look at the entire City of Buffalo vehicle fleet. So not just Department of Public Works vehicles, but police vehicles, fire vehicles, to look at the latest in equipment, to look at repair cycles, replacement cycles. That's why I thought that position was so critical. We will be filling that position. The council thought an emergency manager position was critically important. The storms that we've seen, all different. Historic snowstorm in November, once-in-a-generation blizzard in December, windstorms, ice storms. They're all different in certain ways. We've added new features to protect the public, and that's the largest priority, protecting the public, keeping people safe, keeping people alive in these storms.
And with you talking about these different types of storms, we just had Congressman Langworthy sitting right here. He has joined an effort with Congressman Higgins and Governor Hochul, and he mentioned the county executive as well. Are you involved in the push right now to get emergency aid coming into Buffalo that will help pay for, damage from that particular blizzard? My understanding is the blizzard as it stands right now, that Christmas blizzard, does not meet the threshold of what the federal government needs to declare a disaster here in Buffalo. So there's a group of people fighting for that disaster aid, getting them to maybe change the rules. Are you involved in that?
The city is certainly pushing for that disaster aid. The blizzard in December of 2022 cost the city of Buffalo almost $11 million and counting. So yes, we need that reimbursement. I think all totaled between the city and the county, we're looking at over $30 million. So this community was very hard hit by that blizzard. Lives were lost during that blizzard. We do need the maximum assistance from the federal government to recover.
When are you expecting the NYU study that will look back on how the city handled the blizzard?
I think the NYU study will look at city, county, state. It will look at the overall response. We're expecting it back sometime in March.
And are you doing your own assessment at the same time?
The city has already done its own assessment. We filed it with the city council. It's gone to every city council member. So we've already done our after-action report in the city of Buffalo on the December 22 blizzard.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you something very important that's been in the news recently, and that is, are you going to become the next president of Buffalo State?
My focus is on the city of Buffalo. It's always nice when people think favorably of you and have nice things to say about you, but I am focused on the city of Buffalo.
Okay. Can you pledge to the residents in Buffalo that you will fill out your term?
Well, I've already run for office, so I'm not making any pledges now. My focus is on the city of Buffalo.
Can I ask it a third time?
You can.
All right, we will keep asking you about this because this is an ongoing situation. You've certainly talked to some people at Buff State about that position.
No, I have not spoken to anybody about that position.
No one from Buffalo State has contacted you about the position.
It's my understanding that people think favorably of me and would like to see me do certain things, but my focus is on the city of Buffalo.
Okay, our focus is on you as well. Very quickly, I know that you wanted to mention about the pools, that you're hoping to have the city pools open this summer because the city has been offering free swim lessons, right?
We're offering
For
free
lifeguards.
lifeguard training.
Yes.
We have been working on recruiting lifeguards for over a year now so that we can open pools on time this summer. We're still short. We need a total of 80 lifeguards to open every city pool. We're at about 30 right now. We have a lifeguard training session that starts February 24th. We'll have another one in March. And we're asking young people in the city of Buffalo between the ages of 14 to 21 to consider being lifeguards in the city. It pays $20 an hour, and the lifeguard training we have made free, and we're also paying people to get trained.
How about that? So we'll be following that to see if the pools will be open this summer, and we certainly hope that is the case. And of course, we want to focus on the summer, George.